Hi everyone, I'm Eric with Eric Low Voltage Services. And if you're like me, you're home because of the coronavirus, and you may even be in your pajamas just like me. However, if you're a teacher or a pastor or anybody who is looking to capture a lesson and post it online, I'm hoping this video will be helpful for you. I'll be doing another video that will talk about how that you can collaborate with somebody to maybe work or to do a lesson one-on-one with them. And in that video, we'll be looking at Zoom as well as two pieces of software in Windows. On this video, I want to take a look at a software called Front Row Teacher Edition, as well as I'm going to also show you two tools that are default in Windows that may be helpful for you. They're called Whiteboard and Assist. So let me share with you my computer screen. So now you can see my computer screen. And first, I want to talk to you about the Front Row Teacher Edition. This is lesson capture software that is real simple to use. And right now, Front Row is offering it for free for you to be able to use during this season when people are stuck at home with the coronavirus. To get it, all you have to do is open up a web browser page and go to Front Row Teacher Edition. And then the very first Google link, click on that, and that takes you to the website. As you can see, whenever they stop giving it out for free, it costs $49. It's a one-time fee, and then you can use it as much as you want. But in the meantime, all you have to do is go down here and click on the 45-day trial. And you can use it with no cost, no commitment for 45 days. If the coronavirus is still going on at the end of this 45 days and you need to continue to use this, you can contact myself or you can contact Front Row, and we should be able to give you a license to give you another 45 days to be able to use this. If you already have a license because you purchased it or you happen to have a Juno Tower that the license came with, you can go ahead and enter that license, and I'll show you that here in a couple of minutes. Now, to open the software, after you've loaded it, when I loaded it, told it to put an icon on my desktop. So right here, I have that, and I can double click that, and it'll open up the app. I could also come down here to type here to search and type in Teacher Edition, and I can click on that in order to open up the app. Or I can hit my little Windows icon, and I happen to have a live tile that I put onto my start to open up the app. Now, when the app opens up, the very first thing that will happen is you will get a pop-up. Now, if you don't want this to pop up to come every time, just uncheck that box, and the next time you open it, it'll go straight to the software. Otherwise, what you do is you can click on this Open Settings, and you only really have to go through this one time. The first thing that you have, this first tab, is where your recordings will be. By default, your recordings are going to appear in the Windows Videos folder. So if I were to open up File Explorer and I come over here to this PC, I see that there are some default folders, and one of those is videos. So it will automatically put it inside that video folder right there. But maybe I don't want it to appear in that folder. Maybe I want to put it into its own folder. So I can click on the little three dots here, and that opens up the browsing for a folder. And now I can choose inside there. I have a folder I've created, says Front Row. Click on that, and now it'll put it in the Front Row folder. Or I can go ahead and click on the videos and then click make a new folder, and I can give it whatever I want. My new folder for videos. All right, and go ahead and click OK. And now it will put those in that folder. Now, I may have more than one microphone. Right now I'm wearing a headset, and I can choose to use that headset microphone, or I could use the microphone that's built into my computer. So I can choose which microphone I want to use right there. Now, if I'm in a classroom and throughout the day, I don't want to have to think about, oh, I need to start and stop this recording, I could have it automatically start and stop the recording by simply entering in a date and time and give it a name. So as you can see right here, I'm gonna have match class. Well, I don't really want that to be match class, so let's double click that and let's change that to math class. And as you can see now, it will at noon to noon 59. It will on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, go ahead and record my math class. And so what will happen is when the video is done, it'll be called math class with that date, and it'll automatically go to the folder that I have set up. If I want to be prompted beforehand because maybe I don't want it to automatically record, I can click that and it'll say, are you sure you want to start recording? And then I can confirm that. This web link is where I can put a link if I happen to have a YouTube channel, or if I happen to have an online file service. So as you can see right now, it is set to go to my Dropbox. But maybe I don't want it to go to my Dropbox. Maybe I want it to go to my OneDrive. So what I can do is I can go to my Windows computer and I can go to my drive and scroll down to this front row videos on my drive. And that might be where I want the videos to go. So I'm going to click to the right and click copy. Then I can come over here and replace that link. And now whenever I click the web link URL, it'll go ahead and open up that folder. This next tab is the keyboard controls. By default, it is actually set up for Control F12 to start and stop the recording, and stop is actually at none. If I want to change those default keyboard strokes to start and stop the recording, I can just click inside here, hit the backspace to get it to say none, and then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Control and R. And now whenever I hit Control R, I don't have to be in the software. I don't have to be inside the software window. I could be anywhere outside of it, and I can click on Control R and it'll start the recording or pause the recording. And if I want to stop the recording, I'm going to hit Control S, and I'll show you how that works here in a couple of minutes. Now, if you happen to have the Juno Tower, that's what this last tab is for. The Juno Tower, first of all, if I have this box checked, every time I open the software, it'll see if there's an update. And if there is, it'll tell you and ask you if you want to load that new update. But if I'm also connected to a Juno Tower, this will check and see if there are updates for that. And if so, it'll allow you to push those updates to the Juno Tower. For those of you who don't know what the Juno Tower is, it's a really nice tool for teachers to be able to use. If you can see, if you go to Google and you type in front row Juno Tower, it's this tower right here that you can have hanging on the wall, or you could have it setting on the ground or on a tabletop. And it has Bluetooth, so you can wirelessly connect a phone and play music through it. But what's nice is the teacher or the student can both have microphones, and they can be talking and they can be heard through this, and it helps kids to be able to hear a little bit more clearly and the teacher to not have to talk as loud. But what else is nice about this Juno Tower is I could connect a USB cable from the Juno to my computer, and now I can take that microphone, and at the bottom of the microphone is a button that if I press and hold that, I'll hear a little confirmation tone. And after that confirmation tone, I can now give it commands that will allow me to start and stop the recording and to pause the recording. And I can even control some other things in the room, like turn the projector on, turn the projector off, and do some other things. Call the office if you happen to have the full conductor paging system. It's a really nice tool to be able to have in the classroom. But even if you do not have the Juno Tower, you can use the Front Row Teacher Edition software, as I'm about to demonstrate. So I am not connected, so I cannot show you those commands using the microphone right now. Instead, I'm going to show you how to use the Teacher Edition software just to capture. So now that I've set up my options, if I ever wanted to change them, I can come over here, go to Tools, Options, and I can make the changes to my options. Now, if you have a license, so at the end of your 45-day trial, or if you've already purchased the software, or if you get this extension license, you can just go over here to Tools, License Manager, and in there you can actually enter your license right here and click Add, and then it'll go online. You have to have an internet connection at the time. After that, you don't need an internet connection to use this software. It'll go online and it'll check and see if that's a valid license, and if so, it'll come back with the checkbox, and then you're good to go to use that software for as long as you want to. Okay. Now, to do a recording, it's real simple. As you can see, I can click the record button and it'll start a countdown. At the end of the countdown, the software, as you see, hid itself. So now it's showing anything that I want, anything that I'm showing on my computer. We're seeing my mouse move, it's recording my voice. And the reason for that is because I have my default setting to capture both audio and video, but you can see I could capture just the video or just the audio. So right now it is capturing anything that I do on my computer. So if I go ahead and I open up a PowerPoint presentation, it's going to capture that. And then as I'm talking, it'll capture everything that I'm saying here. Now, even if I'm not got the software open, I'm going to click off outside of the software. If I hit that Control R, as you can see, I have now paused the recording. That's why it now says resume. If I go ahead and I click outside the box and I hit Control R, it has now restarted that recording. And so I can then also hit Control S, and as you can see, that stops the recording. Now that I've stopped the recording, I see in this activity window that it is actually encoding the video, getting it ready so that it can now be in an MP4 format so that I can put it into a video editor, or I could do whatever I want with that video. And so what will happen is after this video gets fully encoded, sometimes if you've been recording for like an hour or whatever, it may take a bit of time. So go enjoy lunch, do whatever, come back, and after the video is all done, you can go ahead and access it. I can actually start another video even while this one's being recorded. So I can go ahead and start recording. And as you see, it's still going to continue encoding that video, even though I've started a new video, okay? And so that video is still encoding, even though I've now started to another recording. So when I hit stop here, now we're going to see, well, I didn't quite get it there, but that activity would have said 2 because it would have been encoding 2 videos at the exact same time. But my first video has already been encoded. And as you see the second video, it's now done. So what I can do is I can now click on the recording setting. And as you see, it's now taken those 2 videos and it's put them inside that folder that I had said, my new folder for videos. And it put it in an MP4 format. So all I have to do is click it and my computer will automatically start to play the video. Let's watch. I'll do the second video because it was shorter. So you see, I've got this video fully ready to go. All I need to do now is post it somewhere. So I'm going to click on my web link folder. And as you see, it's now opened up my drive. I already had one video in there. I could just drag this video into that folder, and now it's uploaded it into my drive, and anybody who has a link to that drive can go ahead and start to view that. Or if I happen to put the URL in there for if I put the URL in there for YouTube, it'll automatically post it to my YouTube channel and so forth. So it's real easy software to go ahead and to use to do recordings and capture of a lesson, and you can capture anything that's on your computer. So cool thing is I can go ahead and do PowerPoint. I can go ahead and type up something in Word, go to a web browser interface. And if you happen to have a Windows 10 computer and you have an interactive pen or a touch computer laptop like I happen to have, you can do some other cool things. Let me show you 2 other quick little freebie things here. On my computer, I have this thing called Windows Inkspace. That, as you can see, is if I click on, I can actually go to a whiteboard. I could also come over here in case I don't have that icon. I can click into search and I can start to type whiteboard, and you can see if you have this Microsoft whiteboard. What's cool about whiteboard is I can now go ahead and if I have a touch computer, just start writing on, click the pen, and I can start writing on my screen. And therefore I can draw anything. I could do math, I could draw something, I could do all kinds of stuff. The other nice thing about this is I can call somebody on the phone and we can collaborate. If I click on this little plus sign, I can get a link that will allow that I can share with somebody, and now they can go to a web browser page and they can see exactly as I'm drawing, and then they can start drawing, and the 2 of you can begin to collaborate and to work together on doing this. It also has several other tools in here that you can use. Down across the bottom, you can get different colors, you can get a ruler. As you can see, I could click this plus sign and I can import a PDF, a Word document, put in there a camera image. I can plug in, drag in any of this images, or get something straight from Bing got quite a few tools that you can do for collaboration. It's a really nice tool. Another thing that you could do is if you're at home, now this doesn't have to do with lesson capture, but I'm going to show it on the next video a little bit more, is let's say you need to collaborate with somebody or they're working on something and they just can't figure out how to do it. So what you can do is you can click on this type here to search and you can go assist. And Windows 10 has a built-in remote desktop that's real easy to use. You click on this quick assist. And what that does is the person who you want to help will enter a code right here where it says code from assistant, okay? Then if you want to help somebody, you just click on this assist another person and Windows will connect to their system and they're going to give you a code that you share with that person. So right here, you give them this code right there, they enter it into that window and then they click share their screen. And what will happen is you will then be able to view their entire screen and even be able to take over control of their computer. And thus you can work with somebody and help them to figure something out. So, and if you're using this Front Row Teacher Edition and you have both the whiteboard and the quick assist, you can actually have this whole interaction being recorded and then you can post it to YouTube or to any file sharing service that you might want. So hope you guys find this to be a helpful tool, especially during this time where you're stuck at home, to be able to capture lessons or to be able to share something with somebody. In the next video, I will show you Zoom, which is a really cool software tool for doing some collaboration in live meetings. So have a good day and take care of yourselves.